Hey, I'm Laura and this is Jay, and this is our van toaster.
So this is a Winnebago Solis 59PX, and it's built on the Ram ProMaster chassis.
This is Coda. She is the best travel dog ever. She's very spoiled. Okay, so we're gonna take you on a tour of Toaster. Come on in.
Yeah, so this turns into our living room. So when we swivel the seats around, it's got both dual front seats that swivel around. So when we do that, that opens up to our dining room table or my work area. There's two more seats here you can also sit at. So this really becomes the living room of the coach.
So a lot of times in the mornings, I will sit here with my feet up on here. Jay sits here having his favorite morning coffee. And it's actually just a whole huge room. So this is the view if I'm just sitting here, which I actually don't, I feel like, very much. I feel like when I'm working, I'm back on the bed. But Jay's got his set up here, and this is just our family room. This is our fridge. It is a 12-volt Nova Cool.
Easy for you to say.
It is a 12-volt Nova Cool fridge. This is where we decided to put all of our stickers for our travels, and let me tell you, that took a while for us to figure out where we were going to commit. Currently, it's a beer fridge. That's okay, because most of the time it is packed with food, just like Tetris. My favorite thing about this fridge is actually the freezer. I keep this Crate and Barrel ice tray in here, and what's nice is that I use about one, maybe two of these a day. So I get to have ice, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. Has a little lock right here.
These are this is the main coach switch for the entire chassis. So when you turn that off, cuts the electricity for the entire coach. Then we've got some plug-ins here, USB plug-ins, 12-volt plug-ins, I guess I should say. And then we have the main interior lights, and then we have an exterior light right here, which is really handy, and there's another exterior light on the other side. And that leads us up to the control panel here.
And I'm going to pay attention to this because I don't know anything about it.
So this is our Truma Combi system, and that will allow us allows us to change the temperature from the furnace and the hot water heater. So we can, by turning it on, we can decide whether we want to do the furnace or the hot water heater, and then how hot or cold you want to make it. Next to this is the control panel for the propane, and it also gives us some information on our water and gray tanks. So you can see we've got about a third left of our propane, and our batteries are fully charged, and our gray tank is empty, which is cool. We can also turn on the water pump here, and we can start the generator from here, and this tells us how many hours are on the generator.
How many hours are on the generator?
14.7 hours.
Nice.
Not too many. Down below that is the Xantrex solar charge controller, which is for the solar panels that are on the roof. There's, I think it's 220 watts of solar panels on top of the pop-up, which we'll talk about in a minute. And really there's not much to do with this other than it just shows you that they're charging. There's not really, you can run through the menu, but there's really not a whole lot of changes you can make here. It's considered a Four Seasons van, so it's insulated, and all the water pipes are inside the van, so that nothing freezes. The only exception to that is the gray water tank. The gray water tank is outside the van, so if you're below freezing, you can turn the heater on in the gray water tank to keep that from freezing. Otherwise, everything else is inside the coach. Over here is one of the two valves for the propane, on and off. There's another one, the master one's outside. This is a temperature controller for the Truma Combi system. Lets us know what the temperature is in the coach.
It gets nice and toasty in here.
It does. It gets fairly warm in here. And this was something we added on. This is considered a waggle. It's hooked up to wireless that allows us to know what the temperature is in the coach if we leave. So if Coda's in here by herself and we have the air conditioner running or whatever, and if something were to fail and it were to get too hot or too cold, it would send us an alert and let us know. So we thought, we don't know that we'll leave her all that often. If there's a chance we will, we want to make sure that that she's safe and doesn't get too hot or too cold. So there's more outlets down here. Another 110 and more 12-volt USB and old cigarette lighter style. And then there's these round holes are for the the furnace, the Truma combi system. So that's where the hot air comes out there.
Yeah, one here too.
Hot air comes out there. There's one back here. So that's where the hot air comes out. This is the carbon monoxide detector.
Oh yeah.
So if, you know, since we have propane accessories, if something were to go wrong, carbon monoxide detector there. And then up here is one of the 2 fire extinguishers.
Nice.
Not fire extinguishers, fire alarms.
Fire alarms.
Smoke
Detector.
Smoke detector is the word I'm looking for. So there's 2 of those in here. And then down here, the last thing is the outdoor shower. We have 3 showers basically in the van, 2 outdoors and 1 indoor. So this one's here. You can hook the hose up to it and you can spray off the dog or,
love that,
or whatever
yeah.
you need. Yeah, just right here. And then there's one at the back, so if you can take an outdoor shower. We'll show that.
We'll
more
show them
later,
that,
and
yeah.
of course, in the indoor shower.
So this is what we call the pizza oven because, well, it's like a pizza oven. It's a very narrow storage area above the seats. And then I have baskets like this. This is Coda's basket that has her leash in it. Then I have other ones that actually stay in the house and I load those up and bring those back. This is just our dry goods storage that we keep those in. Again, these are from Target and they just are the perfect size, but we do take everything out of the van every time we get home from it. We keep Coda's bowl down here all the time. It's a fantastic bowl. You put water in the bottom of it that acts as a weight. Sometimes we stick this outside so that if our shoes are muddy. Okay, we're gonna show you one of our favorite things, the pop top.
Yep. So this comes with a ladder so you can get up in the pop top. And I don't know if this is where you're supposed to put it, but it's where I put it. So you have these straps that help you pull the top down when you need to close it, but it also works really well to secure the ladder up and out of the way, which I kind of like.
It is.
Unlatch it here and here. Swings down. And after the ladder's down, now you can either leave the straps up there or put them out of your way, up to you. And then there's 2 safety straps. There's a safety strap on each side. So you got a safety strap, and then you have the main latch for the pop top. Well, once everything's unhooked, then I kind of use the ladder just to push up on the pop top.
And there she
And up it
goes.
goes.
Now I have to admit, it's really fun up there.
So it's a pretty good size. So it's got 3 windows, two on each side and 1 in the front. So it lets a lot of light and a lot of air through here. Oh, this is the Wii Boost. I guess we talk about that.
Oh yeah, talk about the Wii Boost.
So the Wii Boost is our cellular booster. We have it mounted there, and we'll show you the antenna on the outside. And that allows us to pick up a weak cell signal if we're off grid and amplify it so that we can still get some signal to do some work potentially.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the mid part of the van, starting with our microwave. We actually don't use it that much. I use it for oatmeal and reheating things. Sometimes I'll make dinners, warm something up in there, but we really like having it up there. So Craig, our neighbor, made us this sand. He's gonna tell you a little bit about that.
Hey.
Hey, Craig.
How are you?
Good.
Laura showed me an example of something that she liked from the
One of the
Websters,
pages, yeah.
the interwebs. Kind of took that as the basic platform, just the kind of this L shape. But basically all I did here, bought a 2-foot by 4-foot piece of good oak sanded plywood. So it was a little bit more, but we knew we were going to stain it. If you're going to paint it, you could easily do cheaper plywood, if there is such a thing these days. But I would not recommend doing MDF because I think it would bend. I don't think it'd be sturdy enough to hold something. And then I just simply took 2x4s and ripped them down to make these little edgings. They're pretty narrow. I think they're like maybe 1/2 inch from that standpoint. And as well as these trims, those are all just 2x4s that I ripped down to do. It's open here because you got to be able to open the microwave.
Oh, right.
So that's why that's flat here.
Oh.
It's attached here to this here edge, just with I think those are like 2.5 inch screws that go through to give it a good sturdy.
Nice.
And then we've also got these little L brackets down here just to hold it too. But that's it. Most of this is, there's actually very few screws in this. A lot of it is wood glue. Oh. Yeah, this is Toaster. The name, obviously, y'all know that, right? But this, I cut this out with a jigsaw. It's pretty simply attached. I think it's pretty sturdy. It seems to ride well.
Yeah,
Laura.
we haven't had any issues.
Yep. And then you don't have to move it all over the place all the time.
I know. It doesn't reside on the bed anymore.
Yeah.
Cool. The next thing we have are some things that we added that I wanted to share that aren't quite finished. So this is our fruit basket, because if you are a part of van life at all, you have to have macrame things. So we have a hook here. The hook that was here didn't stay, so we're working on that. But this is where our fruit will go. And then we have this cutting board that I absolutely love. It has a little ledge on it here, and it will cover the stove. A lot of times when I'm cooking, I will put the cutting board over the sink. That makes extra space. If I even need all of this, what's really fun is to put it here, and then I have even more space. The stove. All right, we have a propane stove. So Jay, tell me if there's anything more I need to know about a propane stove.
It's pretty basic. It runs on propane and gets hot.
Yeah. So we like
it's real basic. But it's simple, easy to use, and it works really well. So
it does.
And there's another cutting board down below you there.
Oh yeah. This is, and I don't use this very much because I feel like it kind of gets in the way of, which I shouldn't, but I'm not going to duck under there. But it is another workspace if we want that. These latch like this, and they're like a magnetic latch. In here is where we keep all of the utensils and plates. Now, we are not getting ready to go on a trip, sad face, but I do keep some things in the van all the time. So I keep our plates in here. We have some plasticware that we keep in there, and then just a few little knickknacks that the little rodents won't get. But I love these plastic containers from Target. We have these bowls. We usually keep some wooden bowls in here as well. And then right here, we have more paper goods, I guess you could say. And this is where we keep our little lighter. And then I always keep my toothbrush and toothpaste in here because it's just really easy to make sure I brush my teeth. Okay, this shuts like this. And one of my favorite additions is our spice rack. This thing is so cool. Love it. I've seen it on a lot of different places. Now, we don't have any magnetic, refrigerator or anything. So what we did was Jay just kind of bolted the steel plate that it comes with. So it has 12 different kinds of spices, and you just turn it. You can use the spice that way. This is our sink. It's great. We just use this little stopper to keep bad things from going into the gray tank. This right here holds different soaps and salt and pepper because I use that the most. And then this is what we're getting ready to install. This is sticky backsplash, which is going to make this area, you can kind of get an idea of what it would look really nice. I use these USB outlets at night when I'm asleep because I sleep right here. So I use these outlets to charge my phone, and I use the sink to hold my water cup. It's the one drawer that we have that we really use. I wish that our van had more drawers. It does not, but we make it work. I have all little miniature utensils that I use in here. There's nothing super organized about it. There's just a pile. This is what you call a Laura drawer. I bought baskets to organize things, which is great, but what I really like is this cabinet folding shelf that actually makes a shelf underneath here. So we get much better use of our space. Now, what do I have in here? Well, underneath here, and these are all things that I really use. Okay, this is our little mini colander. And then I have a rice cooker. Love the 12-volt rice cooker in here. Works great, makes enough rice for 2 or 3 people. I keep some Ziplocs in here. Keep some Clorox wipes and some Reynolds Wrap foil sheets in here. Extra paper towels. In these containers, I have some trash bags. Very important, this is the tray for the microwave that we keep in here so it doesn't rattle around. As you can see, we can fit a lot in here. These are microfiber rags. I use these cheap rags all the time. And then my hair dryer that I've used once. All right, Jay's gonna talk about the toilet, the WC.
The water closet.
Decorated beautifully, because that's very important.
So here's a latch at the top, so when you're driving down the road, there's a latch here to make sure it doesn't fly open on you. It will if you don't have it latched. It'll scare you. it's always kind of a challenge the first time you take off down the road. What did we not latch down? Something's going to fly open every time, but that's okay. It's part of it. So we've got this door that opens up to the bathroom. So in here we got the toilet and the shower. So it's pretty basic and pretty small.
But it works.
But it's functional.
Yeah.
It's functional and it does work. And the hot water is great, and it's nice if it. We camped when it was a little chilly, and it was nice to have hot water. When you're not using it as a shower, there's a curtain rod here, which of course when you shower, it pop out and gives you a little bit more headroom in here. And they also make shelves here and here, so you can really use it as a closet.
I would like to do
proper
that.
closet. And then just take the stuff out when you need to shower.
So our toilet is a cassette toilet. We'll talk about that on the outside. And I actually have a whole video toiletorial coming up soon. But it is one of those, you just flip this lid, you add a little water by pressing the button, you're done, it goes into a cassette. I will say, as far as toilet paper goes, I use regular toilet paper. They make more expensive biodegradable toilet paper, but what a lot of people do is they just use that toilet paper. After they use it, they just put it in a little trash can, which is what I do. I really like that. It makes it super easy. This is our trash can for now. I really like it. It's not beautiful, but we can recycle our grocery sacks. I just keep them in this little container here, and you shove it through here. And it's just a good way. We empty our trash a couple times a day, I think, anyway. It's super close to the sink. It's nothing fancy. Welcome to the bedroom. This is also my workspace. It is so comfortable. We have a 3-inch memory foam piece right here. You can see where the sheet is, and then the actual sofa cushion is underneath it. So it is a Murphy bed, so we could technically, if we wanted to, fold it up into itself, and we could have a whole walkway. We never do that because we love this bed. It's so cozy. Coda likes to sit here. She will look out the windows sometimes. See how the windows open.
Now those are all blackout. There's blackout screens all the way around, which is nice. So,
and of course we have the 12-volt TV, which I don't touch because I'm afraid I'm gonna break it, but it really does fold down like this. I've added some fun little stringy lights, which are a work in progress because I'm thinking about trying to get some thinner ones that will go all the way around. I have finally figured out a good solution for what to put, because I sleep this way with my feet down that way, and so does Jay. We both fit. So I love this basket. It just hangs on a hook. Got a little, we can put the remotes in here. I put my phone in here, my glasses in here, so it's right by where I sleep every night. This is Jay's coffee container. It's the best part of his day. So this is his little percolator, and he loves his little percolator. I don't understand why he loves his percolator. Why do you love your percolator, Jay?
I just love the sound and the smell of it in the morning.
So we keep the coffee stuff in there. That's pretty much all we keep in there. And then these drawers here, we've kind of been trying to figure out where everybody puts everything, right? So we do have our first aid kit in here. These are going to be where Jay puts his clothes, we think. We're pretty sure. Right now he's been using a suitcase. This is definitely where he keeps all of the chargers. You need to have a place to keep all of your chargers. Super important. I keep my underwear and socks in this container, and I don't know what's in this one. There's also USB, all kinds of outlets, 12-volt and regular here. And we have the air conditioner, which I'm learning how to use. It shouldn't be hard because there's only 2 buttons, but I can make anything like this difficult, trust me. It runs off of the generator, right?
Correct. So back in the back here is the gear garage, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But the one thing I wanted to show while Laura's still in the van is the L-Track system here. So we are able, there's enough room on the PX model, which is what we have. It gives us an extra 18 inches, I think, behind the bed, which is nice, that we're able to put our bikes inside. So we travel with bikes. Other people put skis or surfboards or different things, whatever you want back here. We travel with bikes, and so this is the mount for my bike. So you just put the front fork in there. I've got a through axle, and it holds it, so it hangs it up on the wall on this side. Laura's hangs on the wall on this side. It's out of the way, and they're safe and secure inside the vehicle without having to go with a bike hitch.
And a lot of people use this space to extend the bed. So how far could they extend it? They buy plywood or something, and then that way they can sleep a different direction. We don't need to, but
yeah. So the nice thing about the ProMaster, it's really about the only one you can sleep east-west in. Some of the Mercedes, you can get a bump out. It's extra. You have to bump out the sides so you can able to sleep east-west. But the ProMaster is big enough to sleep east-west, unless if you're much over 6'1", it'll probably get tight. But I'm 6'1" and I fit in here just fine. So on the outside here, that's the outside of the air conditioner. It's huge, but then the next set is the antenna for the Wii Boost. So that's how we get our cellular signal when we're out. Okay, so again, the gear garage back here. So here's all this extra room. We're going to talk about the outdoor shower and the water system. So again, another outdoor shower for the hose, hot and cold running water. Everything else here is for basically filling the tank. So there's a nozzle here where you put a hose in, turn on the water, and then determining which way these nozzles are turned determines what happens. So whether you're winterizing it or filling it or just sending water if you're on city water, or you're boondocking and you're running off your tank. So this is a 21-gallon freshwater tank and a 21-gallon gray water tank. So we're able to have 21 gallons, and then we bought an extra 10 gallons of water that we can utilize, so we can really carry 31 gallons of water with us, so we can be off grid for several days before we need to get water again.
What's in that little thing right there?
So this is where I just keep a lot of my extra supplies. So this is when you're on electric, what we'll show you if I'm on shore power. This is a surge protector, just to make sure that it's checking for all these things: open neutral, open ground, reverse polarity, and any surges, to make sure that nothing damages the electronics inside the van. So we're a 30 amp system, so we plug this in, it goes through here to make sure we're safe. When I fill the tank, I've got a pressure regulator, so just to make sure we don't, the water coming from the hose from wherever we're getting water is not too much pressure to cause issues and blow out pipes or something in the van.
And these are things that didn't come with the van. We had to kind of find out about them later.
Water filter. So depending on where you get water, it runs through here and filters the water before it goes into your tank. And then these did come with the van. So this is the outdoor sprayer. A couple more things back here. You can turn the water pump on from back here, as well as up by the front panel. And then there's another exterior light for this side over here. So if it's nighttime and you need to plug in your shore power, and I did this the very, very first night we bought the van. It was pitch black, and I was trying to find the shore power, and I remember, wait a minute, there's a light there. I flip on the light, and it makes it so much easier. So underneath the bed is more storage. This is for our front wheels of our bike. So normally I put the bikes up without the front wheels on, put the front wheels in here, and then usually just shove them in next to the bike somewhere. This is just usually it's filled with stuff for the bikes. Then we usually shove it underneath the bikes when it's back here as well. And then what's left is whatever else we want to put in here. This is usually things we use, like the mat for the outdoor shower, the big mat for the side of the van to keep the sand and dirt out, the leveling blocks. So if you need to make sure that the van is level, you put those under the wheels.
Did you put a shelf in there too? Yeah,
I did. A small shelf up here just to put smaller stuff up top there.
I got my pots and pans, and then we keep our water in there as well. And
outdoor stuff,
yeah.
That's a tent. We've got our outdoor cooking grill, a shovel, hatchet, tools, because you just never know when you might need some tools. So there's just some home tools.
We'd love to make this like a pull-out drawer someday, but who knows if we will.
Yeah, the National Park Edition, these actually slide all the way out, which would make it a lot more handy. But for now, this is my favorite.
We love this one, yeah.
Because this not only keeps the bugs out, but zipping this thing down isn't that difficult.
Like, how do I get in there?
But if you were to have to unzip this every time you want to get in and out, you just wouldn't do it.
Right.
It would be much of a pain. But the way that they designed this was with the magnetic strip on this side. So you just come out. So once it's zipped, you just come out and it keeps all the buggies outside. Got a few things to talk about. First, this is just a vent for the gray water tank. And this is the propane exhaust vent for the Truma combi system. So when the furnace is running in the wintertime, this thing's just steaming like crazy. It's just like on your house. It's kind of neat. This is the outdoor for the cassette toilet. So we talked about the gray water tank. this doesn't really have a black water tank. It's got a cassette toilet instead. So these two buttons open up this door. This gives us, we've got some wipes and things that we keep in here, and Coda's going to help. And then that's the cassette toilet. So the nice thing is that you can dump it in any conventional toilet. So if we're at a truck stop, or you know,
okay, well, you're not like gonna walk in the truck stop, even though it does look like a suitcase. Maybe you won't do that.
Probably not.
Well, I won't. You can.
Probably. But
like a porta potty somewhere.
Absolutely, because it's got the wheels. You just
wheel your stuff around.
Yeah.
We use really great little drop-in thing, but they keep the smell to 0. Like there literally is no smells, even if you go number 2, which we try not to, but we have tested it. We try not to. But the whole reason we got a toilet is so that we wouldn't be miserable traveling.
Yeah. So down here is the gray water tank drain. So you open this up, hook your hose up to it, and put it down the disposal site, and you pull this valve out, and then all the gray water comes out.
Okay.
And the only two things on this side. The propane fill is here, so when you're low on propane, you take it to the place that can fill it. They hook it up here and fill it up. Pretty easy. And then that is that's where you keep the hose for your gray water tank.
Oh, like it's a storage thing. And you're getting some new tires and wheels, aren't you?
I am. So we're gonna get some off-road tires anyhow, and so we got some new wheels too.
It's very exciting.
It is. So we're not. I mean, it's not designed to do heavy 4-wheel drive or off-roading or anything, but we are going to go on some BLN land. We are going to be off-roading a bit, and what's to be a little bit more aggressive than the stock tires.
Where we have the table that's supposed to be under the
Murphy bed.
I wanted to show this to you, even though it's the next day. It's pretty nifty.